Hi guys, welcome back on the RC channel with another video of the paper number 5, chapter number 2, that is consignment theory. So guys, in this chapter we discuss about the consignment chapter from theoretical aspect. Guys, you think about that why I provide the theoretical videos or theoretical part of the practical chapter. Guys, behind this there is a concept, because if you don't know the concept of chapter, you don't know the need of the chapter, or you don't need the importance of that chapter, then you are not applicable that concept in the real life or in the real life situations which is arise after the qualifying or after the becoming the CMA. So guys, I basically focus on the concept, and I suggest you please do whatever you can do with the concept, because without any concept you are not able to tackle the problem which is arise after the qualification of the CMA. Because when you prepare yourself for the interview, in interview there is a practical question or there is a conceptual question, and you are unfortunately unable to answer that question and you are not selected for such job. Because when you don't know why consignment is used in the accounting or what is need of the consignment in the business life, you are unable to tackle that question. So guys, I request you please watch this video until the end, or I provide all theoretical conceptual video on the YouTube regarding the paper number 5 or paper number 12 for the CMA intermediate. So guys, please think about it and go with the conceptual clarity. Without conceptual clarity there is no market for us, there is no job for us, or there is no practice for us. So guys, before starting the video, link of the notes given in the description box, please go on that link and download the notes for your reference. And guys, also subscribe our channel and share this video with your friend, so we can reach to max people, and concept are reach to maximum people and maximum students. So guys, we are also available on the Telegram channel for your help. Please join our Telegram channel. So guys, I hope you download the notes, and let's start the video, or let's start the concept about the consignment chapter. So guys, in this video we basically cover the need and introduction of the consignment, features and objective of the consignment, terminology used in the consignment, advantage and disadvantages of the consignment to the consignee and consigner. Next, account open in the book of consigner and account open in the book of the consignee. This will be also a theoretical aspect or theoretical knowledge of the consignment. Next, valuation of the closing stock, abnormal loss and normal loss. So guys, accounting in case of the goods sent on the consignment and invoice price also be part of our this video. So guys, let's start the video with needs and introduction of the consignment. So guys, what is the need of the consignment? This question will arise in your mind before watching this video. If yes, then you are go on the right way. If no, then you are go on the wrong path. So guys, we discuss the needs of the consignment. So guys, think about the big corporate, how they would sell their product to ultimate customer. They sell their product to ultimate customer by way of the appointing dealer, or by way of the sending goods to the warehouse, or by way of the sending goods to the agent. This agent is a consignment agent, and consignment is a very important part or goods sent on the consignment by the manufacturer or producer or wholesaler of the product is actually the sale to the ultimate customer. Because when agent take the responsibility of the selling goods, he get the commission on the maximum sale. So guys, he is also increase the sales or revenues of the big corporate, and big corporate appoint to the various agents to the sold their product to the ultimate customer. Think about guys, HUL, Hindustan Unilever, next Patanjali, next ITC Limited. These agent of these big corporates are come to our shop, or come to our home, or come to our society, and they sell their product to the various outlet in our society or various outlet in our city. So guys, this is a basically product sell by big corporate to the ultimate customer, and because this there is a importance of the consignment is also increased. So guys, suppose that there is a dealer and there is an agent. So in this case, big corporate sell product to ultimate customer, but accounting in both of cases are very different, because dealer actually purchase the goods from the manufacturer or producer, and agent is take goods from the manufacturer or producer and sell to ultimate customer. Agent is not purchaser of the goods, agent is but seller of the goods on behalf of the manufacturer. So guys, think about that. When big corporate are not appoint the dealer or not appoint the commission agent or not send goods to various warehouse, and they sell goods by themselves to the ultimate customer. What is happen in that case? Big corporate are require the huge manpower, or it require to be huge investment in the supply chain management, and then they will reach to the ultimate customer of the product. So guys, there is a big challenge to reach the ultimate customer by themselves. Hence they appoint the various dealers and various agents to sell their product, and this is the need of the consignment accounting. So guys, in notes I will cover all that part that is regarding the needs and introduction of the consignment. You go through that point, and this point is very easy to understand. So guys, we discuss about the features of the consignment. There is a various features provided by the consignment accounting. That features will discuss one by one. First is only possession of the goods transfer from the manufacturer to agent. This we know that in consignment, goods sent on the consignment is a only transfer of the possession of the goods from the manufacturer to the agent, and there is no ownership transfer by the manufacturer to agent. So guys, next feature is manufacturer, that is consignor, are responsible for the all risk, expenses, damages associated with the consigned goods. Next is relationship between the consignor and consignee is a principal and agent. Next, profit and loss on the consignment goods are belong to the consignor only. Next, in consignment transaction, consignee will get reimbursement of the expenses incurred by him and commission on the sale made by him. And consignor will send pro rata invoice, and consignee will send account sale to the consignor. So this will also discuss in our upcoming video about the pro forma invoice and account sale. So guys, now we discuss the objective of the consignment. What is objective of the consignment? So guys, there is various objective provided by the consignment account, various facility is provided by the consignment account. We can discuss one by one. To make the large consignment and increase the sale volume by the attracting customer. We know that suppose there is a company A which is located at the northeast India, but they want to sell their product into South India, Tamil Nadu. So in such case, company is appoint the various agents in the state of the Tamil Nadu and send goods on consignment to such agent, and that agent will sell the product of that company, and company will reach to ultimate customer or reach to various geographical area into India, that is northeast to South India. So guys, next is to launch new product or create a capture the market for the sale. So guys, agent is basically play a role for the company because they also collect the information for the customer. They also collect the information from the customer to the company. Like if company take a survey for the launching new product, in such case agents are go to the various outlets and various customer doors for the taking the answer of the questionnaire sent by the manufacturer. In such case, company get a very reliable data about the product launching, and company plan according to that or that answers of the questionnaire. So guys, this is a main important aspect of the consignment is also there. So guys, next is earning higher revenue from the different geographical area. This can we discuss earlier. Northeast company sell product to the Tamil Nadu state. This is a northeast to south. So guys, this is a best objective of the consignment. Next, to grow and expand the business. If company get a huge response from the Tamil Nadu state, then company think about that, can we start the manufacturing plant into Tamil Nadu state? So if company is start the plant in the state of Tamil Nadu, then transportation of the company will also decrease. Company will reach to ultimate customer, that is customer of the state of the Tamil Nadu, and company again expand their length by the sending product to the Maharashtra, Karnataka, Kerala, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana also. So guys, this is a very important to grow or expand the business. So guys, consignment will help in the business from all way. So next is sustain in the domestic or international market. Suppose guys, if company A is not sell their product to the state of the Tamil Nadu, and foreign company are come into India and launch their plant into state of Tamil Nadu and sell same product which is manufactured by the company of the northeast. In such case, company is not sustain domestic market. It lost market of the India. Hence, consignment is also helped from this perspective also. So guys, next is to increase sale by the utilizing the talent and expertise of the consignee. So guys, consignee is a agent and he is know all ground information of the customer, and he is know what product are in the run in the market or what product are collapse from the market. So guys, they are expertise in the marketing, and this information will also helpful to the companies or big corporate for the launching of the new product or selling of the new product into various state or various geographical area. So guys, this is a objective of the consignment. And next is terminology used in the consignment. First is consigner. Consigner is a person who send goods to the consignee. That is, consigner is a basically manufacturer or wholesaler or producer of the goods. Next, consignee. He is an agent to whom goods are sent for the selling. Next, what is the simple or ordinary commission? This is a fixed commission or fixed percentage of the commission on the total sale generated by the agent, respective agent. So guys, so this is calculated as per the manually agreed term. The percentage of the such commission is generally lower. So guys, next is pro forma invoice. What is pro forma invoice? It is sent by the consignor to the consignee when he send the goods, and it contain the information like quantity of the goods, quality of the goods, next variety of the goods sent, price of the goods sent, and next expenses incur and not to make him liable to trade debtors. So guys, this is a basically statement which is sent by the consignor to consignee, which contain various information related to the goods sent on the consignment. Next is account sale. Account sale is basically statement sent by the consignee to the consignor, and this contain the all sale generated by the consignee on cash basis as well as credit basis. Next is expenses incur and commission due for the sales is also part of the account sale, and goods destroyed in transit or in warehouse are also contain the place in the account sale, and this is a report sent by the consignee to the consignor, deducting the amount of the advances remitted by him, also the part of that statement. So guys, next is overriding commission is basically paid when the company launch new product into market and company want to sell that product to the various customer or ultimate customer in the respective geographical area. So guys, there is another aspect of the paying overriding commission is that suppose if in the state of the Tamil Nadu there is a three agent appointed by the company. That agent is A, B and C. Agent A is a first agent of the company which is appointed by the company into the state of Tamil Nadu. So company want to information about the remaining two agents from the agent A, and in such case company paid overriding commission to such agent because agent A is supervising the work of the agent B and agent C. So this is also aspect of the paying overriding commission to the agent. Next is for affecting the sale at higher price than the price fixed by the consignor. Suppose the agreed term and condition between the consignor and consignee is that if consignee sold goods more than the price decided by the consignor, in such case if it is successfully sold by the consignor, in such case company would paid overriding commission to the consignee for this act or for this activity. So guys, next is delegate commission. This is we know that when consignee take the responsibility of the recovery from the debtors, in such case company paid delegate commission to the consignee. So guys, now we discuss the advantages of the consignment to the consignee and consignor. So guys, first we will discuss the advantages of the consignment to the consignor. So guys, first advantage is save on the inventory holding cost by the sending goods to the consignee. When goods sent by the consignor to the consignee, then inventory holding cost will incur by the consignee himself, and it is reimbursed by the consignor to the consignee. Next is does not need to spend the time on creating listing to the sale item. So guys, when company send goods to the consignee, then company will also relax to the that consignment sale because record of that sale are maintained by the agent himself. So consignee himself send the account sale to the consignor. So next is does not need to set up the retail storefront. So guys, if goods sent on the consignment, then company need not set up the outlet in the various geographical area. Let's continue our previous example. If company is from northeast and it want to sell the product into state of the Tamil Nadu, in such case company need not set up the outlet in the state of the Tamil Nadu because there is a outlet storefront or retail storefront are all maintained by the consignee, and in such case company need not to set up the another retail outlet stores in the state of the Tamil Nadu because it is already maintained by such agent. Next is make it easier to convenience consignee to the stock their goods. So guys, if goods sent on the consignment, then responsibility of that goods is with the consignee. So company will also relax in this case because account sale are sent by the consignee to the consignee after the specific duration, say for after 15 days, after 1 month, after 2 months, or quarterly. So guys, now we discuss the advantages of the consignment to the consignee. First advantage is does not need to pay upfront for the goods. So guys, this is the biggest advantages provided by the consignment to the agent, because agent is not a buy goods, he is simply sold goods on behalf of the company. So guys, agent is not buy goods, he only sell goods on behalf of the company. So consignee will not require the working capital for the buying goods and selling them to the ultimate customer. So guys, this is the advantage or biggest advantages of the consignment. Next is unsold goods can be returned on the cost, thus reducing the risk. This is also biggest advantages in the hand of the consignee, because when goods are unsold at the place of the consignee, company will return back such goods. So guys, next advantage is does not need to pay for the goods until the goods are sold to the end user. So guys, agent basically is liable to pay amount to the consignor when such goods only sell to the ultimate customer. If goods are laying in the godown as a stock on such goods, consignee will not require to pay money to the consignor. So guys, next is disadvantages of the consignment. Now we discuss to the consignor. What is disadvantages of consignment provided to the consignor? So receive less revenue than the selling directly to the end user. So when company will sold goods through the agent, then company will liable to pay the various commission to such agent, and company will incur the additional cost in form of the commission. So guys, this is a one of the disadvantages of the consignment, but reward against this disadvantages is very big, because company is able to sell goods from now northeast to the state of Tamil Nadu or to the geographical area of the South India. So guys, company will not reach without the help of the agent. Next is risk of the ownership are retained, and any unsold goods are returned no cost to the consignee. This is a really disadvantages in the hand of the consignor, but if company want to sell product to the various geographical area, then company ignores such disadvantage also. Next is goods on the consignment may not be given enough promotion or visibility to consignees. So guys, next is disadvantages of the consignment to the consignee. Inventory holding cost if the large amount of the goods are unsold. Inventory holding cost is very huge for the consignee if stock are available in the large amount. Potential directly in the managing inventory relation to the consignment. This is also one of the disadvantages of the consignment. So guys, now we discuss the accounting for the consignment, and following account are open in the consignor's books. So guys, there is various accounts are open in the books of the consignor. That account will listed here. First account is consignment account. This account is a nominal account. This is prepared to find out the profit or loss of the concern, and it is named with the consignees or the place. Next is all expenses on the consignment are debited to this account. So this is basically like profit and loss account, which is incur the expenses on the debit side and income on the credit side. So guys, next account is consignees account. It is a personal account, and goods sale, the gross sale proceeds are debited in this account. Next is the advance given by the consignee is credited to this account, and next is the expenses incurred by the consignor or commission due to him is credited to this account, and next is balance of this account show the amount due from the consignor or amount due to consignee. So this is basically personal account guys, and in this account all transaction done by the consignee are recorded in this case or in this account. So next is stock on consignment account. It is a basically real account, and in this we maintain the all stock sale or it record the unsold goods with the consignee at the end of the year. So guys, next is goods sent on the consignment account. It is a real account. The goods sent on the consignment account are credited to this account. Next is the goods returned by the consignee are debited to this account. This account is closed by the transferring the balancing amount either trading account or purchase account. So guys, next is consignment stock reserve account. This account is open to adjust the effect of the excess of the invoice price over the cost price in order to arrive at the true profit. This is account open in case of the when goods sent by the consignor to the consignee on the invoice price. If goods are sent on cost price, in such case this account will not relevant or this account will not be open. Next is account open in the consignee's account. There is only two account guys open in the consignee's account, which are as following. First is consignor personal account are open in the consignee's account. This is a real account. A separate consignor account is prepared in respect of the every consignment. Next is it is debited when the expenses incur, commission earned by the consignee and advances given. And next is credited when goods are sold to the ultimate customer. Next, balancing of this account will show the amount due to or due from the consignor. Next, commission account. This account is a nominal in nature. It is credited with the commission earned by the consignee and it is transferred to the profit and loss account of the consignee because it is the income of the consignee. Next guys, now we discuss the valuation of the closing stock. It is a very consignee account, but it is very easy guys if you understand the recurring expenses or non-recurring expenses, then it is very easy part of the calculation of the valuation of the closing stock. So guys, before proceeding the valuation of the closing stock, we are understood the some important concept. First concept is proportionate expenses of the consignor. First is packing, freight expenses, cartage expenses, insurance in transit paid, octroi paid or import duty. This is expenses incurred by the consignor when goods sent by consignor to the consignee. So guys, in this case, consignor will incur the recurring as well as non-recurring expenses each and every time. So we must consider the all expenses incurred by the consignor while goods sent by the him to the consignee. So guys, next is proportionate expenses of the consignee. In this case, non-recurring expenses of the consignee will only consider. What is non-recurring expenses? Guys, expenses which is incur only one time in such consignment. So guys, suppose company which is established in the northeast and send goods to the Tamil Nadu state, that is in South India. When goods sent by the consignor include the various expenses like packing, freight, cartage, insurance in transit, octroi and import duty. This cost will become the part of the closing stock which is sent by the consignor to the consignee. Next is consignee also incur the various expenses like the when goods received by the consignee, he is include the carriage expenses at once, only one time. Next, loading unloading expenses with respect of that goods only one time. Octroi expenses, octroi is also paid at once when goods are come into the municipal corporation limit of that city. Next is guys, what about the salary or rent incurred by consignee in the activity of the selling of such goods? So guys, that expenses are incurred by consignee monthly. Suppose these goods which is received by consignee which is sold in 6 months. So guys, salary or rent are paid monthly basis. So because this is a recurring expenses and it is not part of the value of the stock. Guys, understand only non-recurring expenses. Think about the octroi, carriage expenses, loading, unloading expenses. That expenses incur only once at the time of the goods receive or while goods receiving. But salary rent is incurred by consignee monthly. So this is a very important part. So guys, next is consignor proportionate expenses are calculated by using the following formula. This formula is expenses incurred by the consignor, recurring expenses plus non-recurring expenses divided by quantity of the goods sent on the consignment less quantity of the abnormal loss less quantity of the normal loss multiplied by the quantity of the closing stock. This formula is very easy, and by using this formula you can directly arrive at the consignor proportionate expenses. So guys, next is consignee's proportionate expenses will be calculated by using the following formula. That formula is expenses incurred by the consignor, only non-recurring expenses are considered here guys. Okay, so guys, this is divided by the quantity of the goods sent on the consignment, quantity of the abnormal loss and quantity of the normal loss, and this is also multiplied with the quantity of the closing stock. and figure of this or result of this formula is a consignee's proportionate expenses. So guys, there is a note. Go through that note. Quantity of the normal loss only consider here, not value. Okay, next is, so guys, how to determine the value of the closing stock? This is determined by using following formula. Value of the quantity unsold, that is arrived by deducting the sales, abnormal loss and normal loss from the goods consigned. So guys, quantity of the good consigned less quantity of the goods sold less quantity of the abnormal loss less quantity of the normal loss, that is a actual value that is unsold by the consignee at the year end or at the, and next is by adding the proportionate expenses of the consignors as well as consignee, we can arrive at the value of the closing stock. So guys, next is what is the treatment of the normal loss. Normal loss arise as a result of the natural causes, that is evaporation, leakage, breakage, and they are inheritance in the nature. So guys, since normal loss is charged against the gross profit, no additional adjustment is required in this purpose. Moreover, as same part of the cost of the goods when valuation of the unsold stock is made, in the case of the consignment account, the quantity of the normal loss, not the amount, should be deducted from the total quantity of the goods received by the consignor in the good condition. So only quantity of the normal loss will be considered here. Next is treatment of abnormal loss. So guys, calculation of the abnormal loss is similar with the calculation of the value of the closing stock. This can be very clear by going with this diagrammically representation on screen. You can also see that. You can see first point of the line, that is consignor place, and last point of the line, that is consignee's place, and in the middle of that line there is a loss in transit. So guys, while calculating the value of the abnormal loss, proportionate expenses taken up to the stage of the loss only consider. So guys, next is while calculating the value of the closing stock, proportionate expenses incurred by the consignor, recurring plus non-recurring, as well as consignee's expenses, that is non-recurring expenses only, are taken into consideration. So guys, this is the difference between the valuation of the closing stock and valuation of the abnormal loss. So guys, next is invoice price method. Sometimes the consignor does not want to reveal the cost of the goods to the consignee, and therefore invoices goods at the price which is higher than the cost price. Next is such price is known as the invoice price, and difference between such price is called as loading. It may also noted that the invoice price need not necessarily be same as a selling price unless the consignor direct the consignor to sell the goods at invoice price itself. So guys, next is any special treatment required when the goods sold on the invoice price? Yes, there is need to reversal of the loading on the following content in the consignment account. That content are goods sent on the consignment, abnormal loss, and closing stock. How can we calculate the loading? So guys, following formula is used for the arrive at the loading. That formula is reversal amount is equal to value of the goods sent on the consignment or abnormal loss or closing stock divided by the 100 plus loading percentage and multiplied by the loading percentage. Output of this formula is a loading amount which is need to be reversal in the consignment account. So guys, now we discuss the flow of the accounting entries. So first of all, goods sent by the consignor to the consignee. Next is goods received by the consignee. Next is consignee pay the some advances or accept the bill of exchange for such goods. Next is consignee incur the expenses for the selling goods. Next is consignee sell the goods and also maintain the record of the cash on and credit sale. Next is consignee prepare the summary account known as account sale, and consignor pay commission to the consignee. This is a flow of the accounting in the consignment account. So guys, next is why consignment is not treated as a sale. This is also provided into notes, and this is a very easy to understand. So guys, thank you for the watching video, and please read the answer of this question which is given in the notes. Please share this video with your friends. Stay at home, stay safe, keep studying, keep sharing guys. Thank you.